I think what he's telling us is pretty important, and if you just juxtapose that with the images that we are watching on our screen, so you will see that car, I think, that was up in flames, and the extent of the damage, the severity is also clearly visible, and this is, like you and Shiv have been discussing, an escalation to another level.
You know, Deepti, can I just hold your thought for half a second? And this is very frightening because I've just got an update which has come in now. On Flight Radar 24, there are 2 Karachi to Lahore flights, and the screenshot is from 10:10, that's about 20 minutes back, flying very close to the border. So you've got civilian aircraft flying in Pakistani airspace at a time when they're pushing in drones. Now this is exactly what India had spoken about today,
in the press conference.
That civilian aircraft are being used as shields. And why is this happening? It is possibly taking place because it disrupts or potentially disrupts Indian Air Force activities over there, because you have to be alert to the presence of civilian airliners. But think about the passengers on those planes. They are flying and they've been cleared to fly at a time of intense air activity. What if one of those planes is shot down? Because it is absolutely crazy. I've never seen something like this. In fact, let's get a quick reaction on that first. Captain Meera Siddharth Dave with us, Major General Yash Mode and General Anil Kumar Bhatt. Major General Moore, just on the point of how airspace in Pakistan remains open now, civilian airliners flying from Lahore is just across the border. What does that indicate to you?
I know this is, we heard in the official press conference or press briefing also today that they're trying this method of deception and, behind this using a drone swarm to confuse our air defense systems. And I think that day is not far. If they do this, then probably an airliner will be down because the warning has been given today. And after warning, if they continue to do this, then they should be ready for the next round of escalation. This cannot go on. This kind of, this is what the dirty tricks department of Pakistan is famous for. Nothing much to show as far as op strategy is concerned, but try and do little tricks here and there.
When he's making this point, I want Vishnu to talk about this. What does this mean? And we are trying to zoom in there to Lahore, where
you've got a plane over there on the screen, and this is right now. So can we just zoom in, please, on the plane on the left-hand side? That's Lahore. Zoom in on the plane. That's right. And click on it. What does it say? Can our director?
20, I think so.
So that's a flight number, SIF 732. I'll figure out which airline that is. But that's just taken off, I think, from Lahore a little while back. And it appears to be an airliner, a twin-engine A320, I think, is what it looks like. We'll get details of that flight in just a moment, but it is Lahore to Muscat. There are international flights taking off from Lahore at a time when there are drones being pushed in by Pakistan.
So Vishnu, what does this mean? In simple terms, for people who are watching this, why is this the classic case of Pakistani deception, Vishnu?
Not just deception, they're using human beings as shields. There are human beings on board this aircraft who are being used as shields. Why? Because this is a very dense defended airspace. There would be fighter planes on both sides of the international border. There are surface-to-air missile regiments on both sides of the border. India is intercepting drones which have breached our airspace, and there is yet another aircraft in the skies. Now, our systems are designed through various sensors to actually detect civilian aircraft who are squawking a particular code through their transponders, which identify them as civilian airliners. But why do you want to expose a civilian airliner with hundreds on board to a situation where you've got an Indian air defense controller potentially thinking, is this a military target or is this a civilian target?
Yes.
It just and what about the airlines themselves? Shouldn't they be held accountable? How are you operating an international flight from an area which is just kilometers away from a short distance away from the international border? It's just belies belief. Captain Meera Siddharth Dave, on this one point that we're talking about now, how would you respond?
Yes, Vishnu, I mean, this is the best we know what Pakistan is, and this is always it has been, whether it is a 1971 war wherein it was not ready to take its soldiers back, Or when we know in 1999 what was the situation when their dead soldiers they were not ready to accept, or coming back to the recent situation when their own people which were given the visas they were not ready to take them back through Atari border in their Wagah border. Coming to this current situation, there's nothing new we know about it. Yes, this is Pakistan using human as shield. Now, when you were showing in the recent footages of Firozpur and Punjab, what we just saw the airstrikes. We recently have heard, as per the recent report, which also I have received, that near Srinagar airport, there were certain blasts which had happened, and I'm sure it's our air defense system which is interfering and it is eliminating the Pakistan attack. But see, we need to understand this. Pakistan, what it is trying to do currently, wherein this is the third swarm drone attack, I would relate it to a gambler, a loser gambler plays twice the risk. So Pakistan currently has nothing to lose, I would say. So it is trying every trick up the sleeve.
Captain, hold on for half a second. I've got a little more detail on this flight. It's an Air Sial flight. The scheduled time of departure was 10:05 p.m. The actual time of departure was 10:03 p.m. It's an Airbus A320 aircraft. General Moore, your thoughts on this? I mean, they're using passengers as shields.
And I'm surprised that when our airport is closed,
24 Indian airports are closed.
Yeah, yes. And a lot of international airlines are not flying into Pakistani airspace because this is a conflict zone. So many international airlines have stopped flying because nobody takes risks with passengers like this. And previously we have seen couple of incidents where aircrafts have been brought down. So I'm really surprised how it is happening. So we need to issue a proper warning. The DGCA and the whatever international organization that handles private aviation must be brought in. Like we do sea denial, we should say denial of the airspace now. And any aircraft flying at this time, and if drones come in, then please do not hold India responsible, because we warned you before this. So this is really surprising. But we must call the Pakistani bluff as soon as possible. We should not be too reactionary in this entire thing.
And General Yash and Vishnu, another thing that baffles me when you watch this story as a common man is the fact just this evening you've had India making it absolutely clear that this is the classic tactic being used by Pakistan. Where today are those world powers who believe that they hold sway over a lot of things? I mean, where are they? I mean, are they
America
willing? Yes,
be doing a lot more?
Absolutely. I mean, isn't there more that should appeal to the entire world there? General Yashmore, when they're watching these images, India today has made this very, very clear. We've unequivocally said that this is the Pakistani art of deception, where they are using human beings as shields, but no response.